What is going on, everybody? As you can see, I'm not in my kitchen. I am not in my backyard. I'm actually at my mom's place, and she's got this beautiful property. So what I do, I brought my Ranger, and I brought a heritage pulled pork shoulder, and we're gonna smoke it up. So let's get to it. Okay, so before we get into actually prepping this, I want to just say I got my hands on some Quad Valley, I believe I'm saying that correctly, Carolina barbecue rub and their Carolina style barbecue sauce, which seems loose. Now normally I like to make my own, but I figure what better way, I actually love this company's rubs, I use them a lot. So I figure what better way to try this one out than on some pulled pork. Canada Day, July 1st. A long weekend for us up at my mom's place using the Traeger Ranger, so it's going to be awesome. Now let's get to prep. Let's cut this open. Look for a kind of larger seam of fat, and that's where I'm going to actually cut in, because if you jiggy that up, no big deal, most likely you're going to trim it, but if you nick some of the nice meat, it's not always a good thing. Now there shouldn't be too much to trim on this, and it's not a huge full roast, but there's a nice little bit of fat here we're going to take care of, and then we'll probably get some of this fat here, but we don't want to take too much off. Any little glands or little danglies like this, see right here, we're going to want to take those off. Sometimes there's like a little blood kind of vessel in here, gland. You want to take that off, but usually that's on bigger roasts. So this one here is a small little portion, no big deal. So we're just going to take this little bit here off. Well, we're not doing too much trimming to this because there's no fat cap on it. We want some of this fat here to help everything stay moist in the end process. This fat here is soft, and you never want to take too much craters. You never want to get rid of, dig in and create craters in your barbecue, because that'll give places for moist and juices to settle and wash away your bark. So see stuff like this, you don't want that. We're just going to get rid of that. Normally I pat down my meat before I start prepping it, but I actually left a paper towel inside, so I'm just going to cut this before I apply everything else. I'm going to run in and grab some paper towel and get to dabbing. But not too much here. We don't want to get crazy. You want some of this fat for that final product when you mix everything and pull it all together, because it's all going to render down and turn delicious. See all the marbling in here? That's A1 pork right there. That's what you want to see. You know this is going to be delicious. Dangly here. Let's cut that off. And you know what? That's really it. That's all I'm going to do. I don't want to get too carried away and just whittle it to nothing, so I'm probably going to leave it like that. And I'm also prepping this right on top of my Ranger, right on the back deck, real boss style. All right, let me actually go and grab a paper towel. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
And we're back. I dabbed it all off. Here's the evidence. It's always good to dab off that packaged juice that's left. That's left on top of the meat when you take it out of the package, because it's just gross. It's been sitting there. So what I'm going to do is I got some of my trusty mustard mixed with apple cider vinegar. Now I didn't have my squeeze bottle, but hey, it is what it is. So we're going to pour a little bit on here. I'm going to rub this in here on both sides. A little bit more. Make sure you get everywhere. I even got it some on my freaking Ranger. It is what it is. Okay, so we are slathered. Now we're gonna get our Carolina rub. It has a great color to it, real red. So now it's not really like Carolina's more the traditional Carolina. You know, they don't really season their meat too much. It's more so the sauce that gets it good when they're cooking their whole hog and whatnot. But You know, this is more, I'd say, more of a Carolina kind of competition style rub. So we're going to throw it on. It's going to give us a great color, I can already tell. Decent granules, got some nice pepper notes in there, you can tell. This is a rub I can really get down with. I tasted it out the bottle, has a good flavor. So let's get a nice healthy dose. What I always say, remember to get your sides. Want to build that bark over here. Go here. Normally when I do my pulled pork, I'll season it with my chicken and rib rub, which is a very Texas style rub, salt, pepper, but has this reddy color. So this will give me, this is definitely going to be a different flavor than I'm used to. So I'm excited for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to run a mop or if I'm going to spray. I haven't decided that yet, but again, I don't always go in with a straightforward game plan. Sometimes I adjust as I go. So I've got a nice coating all over here. We are good. I'm gonna let this sit overnight and get this on in the morning. Get the Ranger fired up. See you all then. Okay, so now that we got that all prepped up, hopefully if the rain holds out, and it doesn't rain tomorrow, and I can actually cook it right here. If not, I'm gonna have to be in the old garage, but fingers crossed. Good morning, everybody. So it's in between 6:30 and 7 right now. Haven't had my coffee yet. I'm a little tired, but you know what? Don't matter. Grind don't stop. We're getting this pork shoulder on. Weather's looking good so far. It's a little cold, but it's the morning. My hair's a mess. COVID hair. Don't worry about it. Don't judge me. So we got the Ranger firing up right now. As you can see, smoke's starting to come out. I got it hooked up to my AIMTOM right there, which is my portable power station. Thing's fucking on. Thing is awesome. And then we are going to be using today Lumberjack apple blend pellets. These are really good, great flavor, great brand of pellets too. If you're looking for pellets, I would always suggest Lumberjack. But yeah, so we got apple blend in the hopper. Thing's starting to smoke. We'll let it come up to temperature, and we're gonna throw that pork shoulder on. So yeah. All right, time to get this pork shoulder on. As you can see, color on it is amazing. It sat overnight. As you can also see, I had to change locations. There's supposed to be rain coming in at around 12 o'clock, so it's covered over here. I figure, let me drag it over here now before I get everything going, as opposed to having to do it mid-cook. So let's get it on the smoker. Pellets are looking good. Close it up. Now we're gonna throw this right on there. Close it up. And next time we check on that, it'll be like 2 hours. See if we need to give it a spray. So we are coming up to 2, maybe 2.5 hours in. We're gonna check the hopper and we're gonna give it a spray. This is apple juice, apple cider vinegar mixed. So let's lift the lid and take a look. Oh, that color looks awesome. as you can see, we've changed locations once again. Weather got crazy, there was hail, power went out a couple times. Bad thing about a pellet grill, when it's plugged in, power goes out, you're kind of screwed. So we moved it into here. I got it plugged into my AIMTOM, my portable power station. She's rocking good now. It kind of died down a bit right now, but I can spin you around. You can maybe have a little look-see, see if you can see it. But it was bad. It was hailing. It was crazy. But we're breaking into the 5-hour mark. I'm gonna be. I've seen it. The color is looking really good. But I'm gonna show you guys it. I'm gonna stick the probe in there so you can see generally where it is sitting at, internal temperature-wise, and we're pretty much close to wrapping. So next time you see, we're gonna have this opened up, and I'll be jamming it with the probe. And see, picking up again. All right, but yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so we have bumped the temp up to, I think I'm having at 250. I'll probably go to 275 once we wrap it. But let's pop it open. And see, I mean, the colors, the lighting's not the best, obviously, but we got a nice dark color. Stick the probe in, and we are sitting at in the 65s. Okay, so that's good enough for me to wrap. There's not much of a fat cap that we're trying to render, so not really looking forward to that. The color here is perfect, exactly where we want. So we're gonna go and put it on the tinfoil now. Close this so we don't lose too much heat. It looks super small. Okay, so I got my apple juice and apple cider vinegar that I was using as spritz. Normally I throw some water, some butter, maybe a barbecue sauce or something, but I'm okay with just putting this. We're just adding a little bit of moisture into the wrap. That'll help it steam. No big deal, but we don't want all that going there. We want to keep all the water, or all the juice and liquid in this wrap here, so it doesn't leak out everywhere. Rehydrating the bark. It's looking good to me. Now we gotta wrap it up. Oh, this is a mess. This is not an ideal situation. Not an ideal situation at all. But we are wrapped and good. Nice, tight. You want it tight. Save that bark. Okay, we're ready to throw it back on the pit. So it has been relentlessly raining on us, but you know what? Thank God for that, the portable power station. We've been wrapped up for just over an hour and a half, in between 2 hours. We're gonna open the wrap up, take a peek at the tenderness, see what the internal temp is, just for wondering. And then I'm gonna decide there. I'm gonna put a glaze on it, let that glaze tack up, and then we're pulling it off. So let's go do this. All right, so let's check it. Bumping 200 there. We're going in like nothing here. So I'd say we are ready to glaze it. Then we're gonna pull it off and let it rest because that is soft. So I'm gonna create a little boat now. I'm actually gonna close this up for about maybe 5-10 minutes. Let this bark dry up a bit, and then we're gonna glaze it. Letting a lot of all right, the glaze we are going to be using is Quaw Valley Carolina style barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna pour this over top. We're gonna brush it if we have to, and then close it back up and let it go for maybe 15-20 minutes. And then we'll pull it off and let it rest. close it up and let that tack up. Time to shred this up. It's been resting for, I'd say, about 2 hours. It's got a great bark, great color, great glaze on it. Nice, tender, pulls apart, minimal effort. I didn't have any more liners for underneath my gloves, and it is still crazy hot, but we worked through it. Well, let's bring you up close for a nice little chunk. Moist. Can't wait to dig into this. Now remember, pork is thick, so the majority of the flavor is going to be along the outside in these little dark, chunky, barky bits. But what we also want to do is we're going to add a little bit more flavor into there. So we're going to hit it with the same seasoning that we seasoned the pork shoulder with. But this is just what this is going to do is it's going to help fortify the flavor and just bring it out throughout the whole piece. So no problem with adding a little bit extra. Gets the thumbs up. Now let's go in for the taste. And you know that looks good. Get a nice bark in there. Nice, oh my. The face says it all, folks. That's a win.